Bricham Abom, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly share. Today is Friday out of Shabbos Parshas today. Of course, as you've been hearing me speak the past few weeks, we usually give a weekly share really on Sunday. The whole entire week just passed by. I was traveling a lot this week, but I definitely didn't want to let the week go by without having a little bit of a share. There's a Dvar Torah from this week's Parsha that I usually say every year, and I'm most probably not going to say it on the regular Dvar Torah that we're going to say a little later on before Shabbos. So therefore, I wanted to bring it up with you again, and I'm sure most of you have heard this idea, especially from this week's Parsha before, and I've spoken about it numerous times throughout the year as well, so I'm sure most of you are going to remember what I'm talking about, but I want to speak about it again. This week's Parsha, Parsha Zeh, is my favorite Dvar Torah, because it opens up with very simple words, but it has such a strong impact on our entire life. Re'ei anochi nosen lifnechem hayom bracha klala. We have two options in our entire world. Either you're going to win big, or it's just not going to work, and you're not really going to be able to really get life. And that's what the first pusik says. The next two psikim go ahead and start explaining what that means, whether you're going to have bruches or you're going to chas v'shalom have klolis. And the two psikim are very different. The first pusik that speaks about the bracha is very simple. It says that if you listen to the words of Hashem and you follow along with the mitzvahs and the Torah, you're going to have bracha. The second pusik that starts to speak about the klolis, it starts to speak about if you start not listening and if you're not going to, so many things are going to start happening. It says v'startem min haderech and asher lelechas acharei elekim acherim. You're going to start following other gods and v'startem min haderech. So many different things that it starts going into detail. And the basic idea of the Dvar Torah that we've spoken before is that when we have such a simple pusik in the beginning, that you listen to what you're supposed to do, you're going to have bracha, but then in contrast to that, you don't listen, yada 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 yada, all these types of things. So the basic question is, what's the difference in the idea? So I've said this more recently than in the first years when I was speaking about the Dvar Torah. I said over a story. It's a mushal that I thought of myself, really. Somebody asks you, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take this envelope and go drop it off in middle of Texas somewhere. So the guy's like, okay, like, what do I need to do? And he tells you, he says, listen, I am going to arrange all the travel expenses. I am going to have everything done for you. I'm going to have somebody pick you up, and everything's taken care of, but this is what I need you to do. A car's going to pick you up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. It's going to drive you to the airport. At the airport, you're going to take one flight to the middle of the way to, let's say, Memphis, Tennessee, and then from there, you're going to have a 4-hour stopover going to go to Dallas, Texas. From Dallas, Texas, you're going to have somebody be picking you up. It's about a 6-hour drive into Texas, and then from there you're going to be meeting this and this person. You might have to sleep overnight. If you do sleep overnight, I'm going to put you up in a hotel. I'm going to drop off this envelope, and then on the way back, same idea as you did. You're going to come back. We got to drive down to the closest airport, which is a few-hour drive, and then you're going to have a stopover back home. The whole trip is going to take about 3 days in total, and that's what I need to do. So, of course, this person's going to say, fine, what am I going to get out of it? Well, are you offering me to do this? And he tells you, he says, no, I'm not giving you anything. I just want to offer you this entire trip. But obviously what this person is going to tell him is, listen, I'm sorry, but I can't just do it for nothing. I can't do it for free. If you tell me I'll give you $2,000 to go do this trip for me and to do me this the service that I need to be done, then it's worth it for me. I want to be able to get something out of it. Now that's story number one. Story number two, somebody comes over to you and he tells you, listen, I have this envelope and I need you to go to Yerushalayim. I need you to go to Eretz Yisrael, to go to Yerushalayim. Everything is paid for. And same idea. I'm going to have somebody pick you up tomorrow morning from your house and take you to the airport. You're going to fly to Eretz Yisrael and somebody's going to pick you up. And then someone's going to take you and he's going to pick you up and drive you to this and this place where we need to go, and you're going to have to stay overnight, and it's going to take a long time, and before you know it, it's going to be 5-6 days until you end up coming back home. And the person says, what can I get out of this? He says, no, listen, I can't give you anything for it, but you'll have a fully paid trip, all paid for. I think many people are going to be very interested in taking this offer to have a free trip just to go to Eretz Yisrael. That itself, that is the payment, what you want to be able to get out of it. So that's the idea of these two ideas, how I like to be able to put it into a mushal of how we can understand what life is really all about and what we can get out of life. And the psikim say that the brucha of life, just by listening to the Rabbeinu Shalom and following the mitzvahs of the Torah, there's no greater payment, there's no greater reward than being able to live life properly to its fullest through living through the ways of the Torah. That is it. Fakert, when we don't listen and when we're not following along, so many terrible things are going to happen to us. And I see it. It's so hard for me to be able to go through these few weeks of leaving Kosle Beis HaMedrash in Yerushalayim with the focus that we have throughout the year and coming out to the open of America and seeing the Ummas HaOlam that have absolutely no shaykhs toward any focus of brachas, of being able to learn and listen to Torah. It's shocking. It's shocking, and it's a little bit of a culture shock, at least for me, to see the difference between what that means of having bracha in your life and klalis. And that's the story of this week's parsha. The story of this week's parsha opens up with Re'eh, just see, open up your eyes and see. And so many people, our eyes are closed. We're closed and we're not seeing. We're not able to really view what this world really has, that there's so much bruches. We just have to be able to open up ourselves to see it. And when we do that, it will be a tremendous, tremendous difference on really winning big, like I said before, or just schlepping along with a limping leg and just not getting it. I've met so many people over the past few weeks here in the States, just so depressed. And they get more depressed when they try to be happy, because it ends up hitting them in the opposite direction, and they end up tumbling over themselves, and they get so ba'atzvah, so sad and so confused that it just gets so out of control, and people are just searching and searching for that happiness. But this is the way to do it. We have the secret, chevra, to open up the Torah, to open up a chimish, to open up a mishnayos, to open up a gemura, and just start learning, and start learning more. And the stuff we don't understand, it's only because we didn't do it enough. And when we do it more and we get a better understanding, we still don't understand the next level. So it's a constant level of learning, and it's okay if you don't understand. It's okay to just continue learning. That's why we call it learning and not knowing, because we keep on learning. And it's okay to learn and not understand. Just keep on learning, keep on learning, keep on learning. That is going to bring you the biggest and best brachas of this world. I would like to wish all of our friends that are on our video share a lot of bracha and hatzlacha in everything you do. And Emetz Hashem, we should all be able to be zeicher, to be dancing again with the ultimate simcha and ultimate brachas of Mashiach Tzedekani b'mahariv yamani umayin.